You want me to be a sock puppet forever?
I'm sorry. It looks funny when you're mad.
Sock Opera remains one of my favorite episodes of Gravity Falls to this day, as it offers a little bit of everything that makes the series so great. Dipper and Mabel's sibling dynamic being put to the test against individual self-interest, but they work through it by the end as Mabel sacrifices another chance at romance. There's a few really solid gags, especially one-liners from Stan, who despite not playing a large part in the episode, still manages to have his presence felt throughout. We have an interesting plot hook and advancement with the mysterious laptop that the gang previously recovered in the bunker. Although it's destroyed by the man of the hour, the strongest factor to why this episode is so great, Bill Cipher, who strikes an infamous deal with Dipper, offering to help out with the secrets of the laptop in exchange for a puppet, only to hijack Dipper's body and destroy the computer. Despite this, Bill wasn't exactly lying to Dipper, as destroying the laptop in this episode allowed for the twins to spot the McGucket Labs insignia later on in Society of the Blind Eye, a discovery that went a very long way. However, this also implies that Bill expected to be defeated in Sock Opera, which is unlike the chaotic Dorito we've come to know. And when you notice that, you can't help but to wonder, what was Bill's original plan? What was he going to do if Mabel didn't get the upper hand on him? Well, we've talked about Bill Cipher plans before, but I did a huge disservice in not mentioning this one, as I find it to be a very dark tidbit of Gravity Falls lore that probably deserves to be discussed more often. Mainly because I know people love edgy moments, and I haven't seen it discussed all too often in the years Journal 3 has been out, which saddens a fellow edgelord like me. That being said, I will issue a potential content warning, as Bill's thought process goes to a dark place. With all that said, let's jump right into it. So, what's so dark about what I'm getting at? Well, Journal 3 gives us a direct perspective on how either Dipper or Mabel encountered their adventures for practically every episode in the series, documenting their thoughts in the journal. For Sock Opera, Mabel takes over, recounting her experience, and includes a note from Bill Cipher that details what he planned to do after obtaining the journal from Mabel's play, both of which give insight on the body and spirit of someone who's unfortunate enough to be possessed by Cipher. The pages read, "Whoa, Dipper and I just got back from this big fight with everyone's least favorite triangle, Bill Cipher. Dipper is upstairs collapsed from exhaustion. I'll write this entry for him. An entry about a monster I call Bipper, Bill's mind and Dipper's body. To most people, he looked just like my brother. Even I was tricked at first. And I'm normally like, so perceptive. But there's a few tips to tell the difference. 1. Eyes. Look at him sideways and you can see a quick flash of scary cat eyes, and not from the kind of cat you want to pet. This establishes that the Bill Cipher eyes are really not that easy to detect at first glance. It may be visually distinct to the audience, but to the characters, they really have to take an up-close and personal look, which makes me believe that otherwise, those possessed may just appear with normal pupils. Mabel's method is looking at them sideways, but we know a flashlight may also do the trick, as seen by Stanford's interrogation towards his brother in A Tale of Two Stans. Number 2. Hands. Chillingly cold. Is Dipper technically dead while being possessed? Number 3. Smile. Unlike Dipper, he actually smiles, but he smiles constantly and way too hard. I'd never seen Dipper's gums before this, and I never want to again. Number 4. Personality. Insane. Jams forks into his arms, throws his body down the stairs, blinks one eye at a time. But he is way more confident with girls. So, you know, pluses and minuses. And number 5, style. Gotta give the guy props on this one. He wears this suit like a pro. Better posture than Dipper too. However, creepiest of all, when Stan was driving us back home, I found this handwritten note on the floor in the car, which reads, "Note to self. Possessing people is hilarious. To think of all the sensations I've been missing out on. Burning, stabbing, drowning. It's like a buffet tray of fun. Once I destroy that journal, I'll be giving this body its grand finale by throwing it off the water tower. Best of all, people will just think Pine Tree lost his mind, and his mental form will wander in the mindscape forever. Wanna join him, Shooting Star?" I totally ignored Dipper's warnings. I took his journal without asking, and worst of all, I was so obsessed with my play that I didn't even notice Dipper was possessed. And I, of all people, should know, I possessed Dipper's body once too. Hope I never see that swap carpet again. Dipper, whenever you read this, I want you to know I'm sorry. And for next week, I owe you ice cream sandwiches on me. Love, Mabel. I really enjoy that they included this in, as a lot of Gravity Falls fans who watched the series as it was airing probably remember that a lot of people were constantly unhappy with Mabel. Citing sock opera as an example, although I always argued that her sacrifice spoke the loudest of any of her actions in this episode. But alas, clearly Hirsch and the team involved with this book were aware of the backlash towards Mabel and did their best so that an audience that can hold anything against her can finally make amends. Which is also why we get apologetic Mabel in the second Lost Legends story, which you can learn more about in our video, What Happened After Gravity Falls. As for the little lore bits, we know from Bipper sweating, panting, and fainting that a host of Cipher isn't technically dead, but I do believe that Bill's possession could result in a change in circulation or something to that effect as a result of the Dream Demon adjusting to the humanoid form. I mean, look at Bill. He's literally a triangle with arms and legs that are typically limp unless he needs them for gesture or dramatic effect. Not to mention, any spirit inhabiting your body could result in chills or goosebumps. But because Bill is in control, we don't actually witness that reaction. Or maybe, yeah, Dipper's body was dead to an extent. I'm just spitballing ideas here. It makes sense to at least me that Bill was only using the parts of Dipper's body that he needed, and we saw the damage that Bill was bringing upon Dipper's body, but Bill himself was unfazed. So yeah, unless we ever get any elaboration, I can't say that Dipper's body was firmly dead. As for the Mindscape, I do wish this was explored a bit more in the series, but going off Mabel's speculation on Dipper technically being dead when possessed by Bill, I'm compelled to question if Dipper would have been trapped in the Mindscape because his body would be dead by all accounts, or because jumping off the water tower would clearly result in some intense bodily damage. And if Dipper did try to reclaim his body by that point, it wouldn't be in one piece, and unable to function properly for him to survive anyways. I do wonder how many other people Bill could have done this to, booting people out of their body, getting what he wants, and then killing their physical form, so they're stranded in another plane of existence for as long as they live. Could you imagine that being like a scene in sock opera? Dipper seeing a bunch of ghosts in the Mindscape, all begging for their bodies back. Again, I'm a bit edgy. Ultimately, here's a question I want to pass off to you. If they included this plot point in the episode in some way, just as an added stake of, hey, if you lose, Bill's throwing you off the water tower, would the episode have been better or worse for it? I personally prefer the episode we got, as including this moment in the show at that moment would have kind of ruined the mystery of Bill in relation to the twins a bit, as when the episode initially premiered, we still didn't know if Bill needed Dipper and Mabel for his plans. It's a chilling revelation that works after watching the entirety of the series. But as always, these are just my thoughts, and I want you to express yours. What do you think? If you didn't already know, what is your reaction to Bill's full sock opera plan? Love him? Hate him? A bit indifferent? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to find more Roundtable, you can follow us at Roundtable Vids or me at ARTWITHKODA on both Twitter and Instagram. And special thanks to ARTWITHKODA for creating an awesome thumbnail. For more of his wonderful art, you can find him on Instagram at ARTWITHKODA and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Links in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please sort of like and subscribe to the Roundtable for more great cartoon content. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. ARTWITHKODA, signing out.